Greetings everyone, it's me, Simberg Duo, here to do a review, and I'm going to do an unboxing really quickly on the Sim Experience Accuforce Extreme steering wheel system. The first thing that we got here, after pulling off some very thick foam, is a flyer. Thank you for purchasing the Accuforce Extreme, a website, or a QR code that you can scan for setup documentation. That's it right there. Put that down. And this wheel I bought just the base only, but right here there's a cutout you can see where a steering wheel would go. Very thick foam. This is really good packaging, guys. Really thick foam, protecting the complete system. Pull out first the hardware for the bag. Bag for the hardware, actually. This looks like it goes to the back of the drive and wheelbase. I think it is. It's got some Molex. Bring it closer here. Got some Molex clips here and here. Probably one goes to the back of the drive and the other one goes to the back of the direct drive base, wheelbase. And that's going to really give you a connection from the controller box to the wheelbase unit. Really thick gauge wire. Looks pretty standard USA stuff here. Really good quality, as to be expected from Sim Experience. Next up we have Triplite Series power cord. Just a standard power cord. And a USB 2.0 gold cable, A male to B male. We're not going to take this out of the box because I have another one I have set up on my system that's got ferrite cores, just like these ones do. Yeah, let me take that. Really good quality. Got ferrite cores right here. Prevents EMI. Ferrite pseudo cores. And it's just a standard USB 2.0 cable. Put that back in the bag. Save it for later. If you're like me, you have tons of cables. We have some good stuff already set up on the system, so you don't need that. And last but not least, a little bag with screws and nuts. That's all basically the enclosure base mounting hardware. It says it right here. Base mounting hardware. And that's going to be to screw the base on to the rig. Now to the good stuff. Show you really quickly how the packaging is inside. It's really nice in here. It's just set up really perfectly. You couldn't ask for more foam. You couldn't ask for better packaging. That is really just going to protect the system so that when you do get it, you have a really good quality piece of equipment that wasn't damaged by shipping. Oh, this is heavy. The wheelbase is a heavy guy. I want to say it weighs probably about 30, 40 pounds. We'll be very careful now as we bring it out. Oh, this is heavy. Okay. That's the wheelbase. That weighed 30, 40 pounds easily, guys. You're gonna need a sturdy rig to put this on there. It is solid. You can see the motor inside. We'll get a close-up view of it in a moment. But this is a quality piece of component here. There's no cogging, because we're on a servo now, not a hybrid stepper, where it had a little bit of notchiness. Looks like we got some free flow on the servo. On the back here, you have all your connectors, USB, use it for the wheels. I guess you can hook up a WinSim from SimExperience kit to it. One of these plugs probably does that. We have the power right there to the drive. This guy right here probably goes right to that. So, last but not least, we have the controller box. This is in there good. Controller box. Is where the simcommander talks to your system, I believe. And it looks nice. This probably powers the unit actually. The controller probably talks to the wheelbase. Because the USB is connected to the back here. USB does not connect here. This would connect here, right there, on right here on the back of the controller box. You have a connection with this plug, Smolex, go in there, and then to the back of the direct drive system. So that's what you get with the base package. Pretty nice packaging, I will say. Huge box. I'd keep this one. Just for, you know, if I'm moving or something and I want something sturdy that it goes into. The packaging alone of this, they spared no expense. They did a really good job. Thank you, Bernie Villers, for getting me my SimExperience a day early. It's supposed to come tomorrow, FedEx said, but they shipped it today. So here we are on a Monday, made my Monday, totally happy with that. And we'll be mounting the setup, and then I'll be taking a video and explaining the simcommander software that it comes with shortly. One last overview of the boxing. Here it is, really thick foam. Look at, I'm all the way in there. That's some thick foam. And quick pan of the equipment. Controller box, really sharp looking controller box. That's going to mount to the side of my sim rig. I have mounting hardware that came as a kit I got off of Etsy that we'll see with my Accuforce V2. We'll see if it translates over to this one. If not, we'll find mounting solutions for it. Power cable, Molex cable that connects the controller box to the wheelbase. Now I want you to see really closely. You can see, I don't know if you can tell from the video, you can see the motor inside. See the motor right inside, and it's got all these vents for cooling. I'll tell you how hot it gets, how cool it stays or not. If it's at all like the V2, it shouldn't get hot at all. And look at how thick this, I mean, it came with like that much foam. That is so much foam. Really happy with this. See you in a bit. Hey, really quick. So I just unmounted my old V2, and before I mount the new Extreme Accuforce direct drive system, I wanted to show you the size comparison. Mounting configuration. So this is the Accuforce by Sim Experience controller box. It had Molex here and here, connected. Which connected like so, right in here and right in here. And this went to the wheelbase. This is the controller box. Look at the size of this controller box in comparison. It is much bigger. I'm pretty sure you can get specs and product dimensions from the website, but let's see if the bolting pattern will be the same. And it is. We're in luck. I just have to extend one side out a little more. But the bolt pattern is the same config. Just got to come out a little bit more to get that on. If you have like 3D printed parts that you can mount this to the side of the rig. This is going to look so cool, guys. It's going to look awesome. Mount to the side of the rig. I have mounting options that I can connect these two, and we should be good to go there. Now, let's compare this behemoth of a wheelbase to this guy, which has I also have a third-party dash on it. It doesn't come with a dash. I have a third-party dash on. I'll be transferring that over. Let's see. In comparison, you can see this is a big boy. 28 Newton meters compared to 13. You have a little bit more motor in here, so thus the additional size. Probably smaller than the Fanatec DD1 and 2 probably, but so cool. Look at all the ventilation everywhere. This thing is going to stay nice and cool. Now to show you the difference like in the spindle. I don't know if you can hear this. There's some steps in there, but they're like so small. And then when you're driving it, you don't even feel it. So I don't mind. I think it's a quality product. It's great. Yeah, completely different. There's no steps. Well, just wanted to show you that side-by-side comparison in case you were wondering for your rig setup, hey, how much bigger is this thing going to be? It is that much bigger. The stickers don't come with the Accuforce V2. Those are my own stickers. But just so you know, that's the size and dimensions. And let's go put it together. Okay, here we are in a set of Corsa Evo, and we're going to test out the Accuforce V2. So you can see how this thing looks and feels. I'll describe it as much as I can. You can make a direct comparison to the Accuforce Extreme. Now, when you start turning, you feel a little bit more force, resisting, thus giving you the sensation of grip. Now, I gotta say, this feels really good. The V2 is no slouch. I really like how it feels. We have engine vibration, and we can go over some curves. Feel a little bit of the curves. You'll notice the wheel has good feedback. Catches slides, you feel the understeer. As far as the slip angle is concerned, you hear it more than you feel it. That's okay. Got good sensation. Sturdy wheel. One of the best around. So let's get into the simcommander. Simcommander is available on all versions of the Accuforce. It's what communicates to the wheelbase. Control the settings that you gain force feedback and autonomy modes. You get into a deep dive into simcommander. So what you would do is you'd go to your sim, and as it's running, you could select it from another button, but for now, I'll just show you. Control center. By hitting settings, you hit the control center. What you do is you have basic settings where you have game and what we're setting for, and this is for our universal. Go to the output mixer. This is your extreme wheel. You have it toggled on. The intensity value is at 100%. Sim. These are your effects. Comes standard with game force feedback effect, game force feedback smoothing, slew rate. This is a new feature to Accuforce Extreme. dynamic oscillation reduction, also a new feature to Accuforce Extreme. Control the engine RPM. Dynamic cornering force reduction. This completely new, and I'm still learning and playing with the subset of features in here with cornering sensitivity, max lightning, smoothness. This is what gives you feeling of tires, really, as they're totally cool new feature. Totally new, still learning and playing with some stuff. Then you have your standard stuff that everyone else has: inertia and steering force feedback foundation, steering feedback foundation. Is come over from Accuforce previous editions. Still here. Still gives you that feedback foundation for weight of cornering and density of how hard it is to turn. It's a good, straightens out bad force feedback. Gives you something that's adjustable. All these settings are adjustable. They're all on this mixer slider of intensity values. Some of them go up to 400%. Some of them have other values, lower percentages. But they all, you can understand, add different layers, pick apart the different parts of what you feel, force feedback, do conduction with physics. Really works through telemetry and is, no one else is doing this. Can't believe so many people aren't behind it. I digress. Can be overwhelming. There are lots of layers. They have different. Come up with something that really, really good, and then just I like to continuously tune and tweak. I've just found hundreds of good feeling cars on. So on top of these effects, you can add more effects. There's you can add in front suspension bumps, lateral G-force, traction loss, wind. I guess it's a feature that something possibly coming out. But they continuously add more effects with updates and just get a really lot out of these wheels. Really wholesome. It's freaking me. Buy it and you say, gotta support this. It's pretty good. Some other features are modes. This is device settings. This one has half a torque, default, aggressive, intense, extreme, which is like the rawest. I would change your intensity value here. This is like your force feedback slider. Smoothing, your stop spring, how hard you want it to be, dampener, and your degrees of rotation. It can go all the way up to wherever. It's a servo. It can just keep spinning. There's dashboard features in Sim Experience. There's just, I could do a whole nother video on what this piece of software can do. It's $85 if you just want the software for like a sim vibe, but there are alternatives out there. This can't do as much as this, I feel. Alternatives. Not as feature rich as simcommander. Control launch tasks. There's some advanced features. Simulator type here. And that, in essence, is simcommander, and that's how you tune and feel. It's a collection of all your sims. Like I said, you can change settings per sim. You can come down and you can specify the game, do specific vehicle within the sim after it loads up. You can do a specific track. Oh, a specific venue or track. Also have the ability for day one releases. Sometimes you're in a new sim that comes out and you're waiting for the update from your manufacturer to from your wheelbase manufacturer to get you the software so that it links up with the sim. You have all the features. I spent some time with the Accuforce Extreme, and I've come to understand fractionally what some of the new features do and how they make, basically, you can adjust quite a bit of the different parts of turning and feel. It's basically, there's so much you can do. It's quite impossible for me to do it all in a video. So I've come to a place where I feel comfortable with it. Feels pretty good. And we're gonna have our first attempt at Mount Panorama, otherwise known as Bathurst. Now, this is my first attempt since having tuned it yesterday. Today. So, here we go. Change my settings a bit here quickly. Much better. Wow. I really took off there and they didn't. Now, first thing I can describe to you is that there will be no point at any point where you say this wheel doesn't have enough strength in it. I've had to turn down a little bit what you get, but it is dynamic. So you do have fluctuations in strength in different points in the turn, and basically I can feel what the heck is going on with my front tires really well. And being in the motion sim accentuates that, because now I feel the braking and the shaking of like an ABS if I had one, or the car's weight onto the tires, and you feel that it translates into the wheel. It's really, really good.
I have basically point and go accuracy with this, and it just flows very realistically and very nicely. And when I say nice, I mean like I can feel the understeer as it's going to happen, or the snap oversteer, the traction loss, slip angle. You can feel as you're coming into the point where you start to actually hear the tires squeal. You're feeling that all the way through the tire grip before the actual noise happens. So you live on the edge of grip if you want to, and if you can. Oh, here comes somebody. Whoa. Excuse me. So not only does this Extreme really, it just works with telemetry really well, I think, because that's what the motion simulator does, is it runs off of a game's telemetry, and there's no lag. I'm feeling what the car is doing. It feels like a car if you were to do that. Like, that's just something that was hinted at by the Accuforce V2, but it didn't have the horsepower to give me the fidelity that I'm feeling right now. That's the major difference between the Accuforce V2 and the Accuforce Extreme. Is it's basically strength, fidelity, and more features now in effects to control the dynamic, to feel the dynamic force feedback in cornering. You still got steering foundation though, which is, no one else has that, and it's something that really you can give strength to, like the turning, almost like a dampener, but it's it works off of telemetry. Lost my train of drive in my train of thought there. Let me do a little less chatter and a little bit more driving, I guess. This is a lovely game, lovely sim. Evo, bravo for what you're doing. The Accuforce Extreme knows how to get this wonderful force feedback and physics out of the game. So to wrap things up, I give Sim Experiences Accuforce Extreme 10 out of 10. Reasons why are this. You cannot find any more features coming from a wheelbase based on software, and the hardware is top class. What it does is next generation. You can literally equalize a wheel feel to the nth degree. Sliders are there, they're all in the mixer. You can go in and make changes as you see fit to how the sims run. You can run it off of just the telemetry. You can utilize the game's force feedback on a ratio you feel comfortable with, and it's dynamic. These are features I haven't seen in any other wheelbase or has been expressed by other manufacturers at this time. The Accuforce Extreme is definitely the next level from the Accuforce V2. The V2 is feature rich as well, but it lacks some power and it lacks fidelity that you won't find until you get into a much more powerful. It has a servo. It also has wireless functionality. It basically is next generational. Pro drivers use it. I'd like to use it, and I think this will be my wheelbase permanently for the time being. I can't express much more how solid this equipment is. I've been racing and gaming for 8 years with sim racing. I've tried various other competitors, and I am well pleased to see something like this coming up. I think you will be too. The price is right. 28 newton meters. Wheelbase costs $11.99. If you want the wheel that's wireless to go with it, it's $17.99 for a combination. You get quite your money's worth out of the experience that you'll have. Some experiences, Accuforce Extreme.